pay attention to our dollar, politicians are not going to pay us the attention we deserve. I knew what was coming.
I'm Wesley Lowry in Atlanta with Michael Render.
We perfect. Thank you.
You probably know him as Killer Mike.
Look at all these slave masters posting on your dollar.
A Grammy Award-winning rapper, an activist, a business owner, and as he first revealed to us, the co-founder of a new black-owned bank.
Make a dollar cover. I don't want just black people banking black. If you make money with us, if you make money off us, if you are in our community, I want you banking too. Horses on the hands.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, says Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and I will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, says Yahweh Ashadaya. Allah Shaddai. Le livre de 2 Corinthiens, chapitre 6. Verset 17. Sortez donc d'entre ces gens-là et mettez-vous à l'écart, dit le Seigneur, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. Ne touchez à rien d'impur, et moi je vous accueillerai. Je serai pour vous un père, et vous serez pour moi des fils et des filles, dit le Seigneur souverain.
Run the Jewels is the hip-hop collaboration between Killer Mike
Looking for M's like I lost a friend.
and rapper-producer Jamie Maline, also known as LP.
Pugilistic, my linguistics are J. Ruler damage, y'all.
The duo's fourth album, with lyrics about systemic racism and police violence, was praised for its prescience. Rolling Stone said it was masterful and talked about how, in a lot of ways, the sound and the fury of what you were talking about in many ways met the moment. I mean, this year between Memorial Day and Labor Day has just been so much.
It's been insane.
What do you make of where things are?
I think these things are where they always are. The state constantly mishandles its power. And I think that the thing that's unique about this moment is everyone is paying attention at the same time and pushing back at the same time. Well, I've seen everyone identify the same oppressor and lean into that. So what I've been most impressed by is seeing that everyone from the Amish, everyone from Asians that were part of the Yellow Panthers have come out and marched in solidarity with black people to say the state is treating us badly. And if you don't pay attention to us next, it'll be you.
4 days after the death of George Floyd, with tensions and protests raging across the country, Killer Mike joined Atlanta's Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms at a press conference where he launched into an extemporaneous effort to calm the city where he was raised.
So I'm duty-bound to be here to simply say that it is your duty not to burn your own house down for anger with an enemy. The advantage of growing up in Atlanta.
It's the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Le livre de Michée, chapitre 2, le verset 10. Levez-vous, allez, ce n'est plus l'heure du repos. Par ton impureté, tu provoques la destruction.
Yes, all my heroes and villains were black. And it's black from top to bottom, good, bad, and ugly. And because of that, I understand what the content of so many characters mean.
What do you make of the movement right now?
Which movement?
All of them.
Well, I think all the movements have commonalities, even in our differences. One big commonality we have in the movements in terms of having the same masters or oppressors or people that kind of hold marginalized people down is they control the money. And whoever controls the money in politics, whether it's a lobbyist group or a billionaire that decides he wants to see his friend in Senate or mayoral office, that money kind of dominates.
As the Black Lives Matter movement gained momentum, Killer Mike
This is the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel. Chapter 9 and verse 12. For under the Salakia, the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us. For under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem. For under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem. Le livre de Daniel, chapitre 9, verset 12. Dieu accomplit les paroles qu'il avait prononcées contre nous et contre les gouvernants qui nous ont gouvernés, en amenant contre nous un malheur si grand qu'il ne s'en était pas produit sous tous les cieux, comme il s'en est produit à Jérusalem.
was also quick to back another movement, Black Money Matters. His call to invest in black-owned banks led to thousands of new accounts and millions of dollars. Money, he says, that strengthens black communities and businesses like his barbershop.
If we go into a larger bank and it's one of the big four, they're not going to understand black barbershops. They're not going to understand black guys get their hair cut every week, not once a month. They don't even understand the culture of barbering, that barbers are like artists or dentists or doctors in our community. We understand the amount of commerce that comes through here. My own kitchen was a black.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know, my people does not understand. Le livre d'Isaiah, Isaïe, Chapitre 1, verset 3. Un bœuf connaît son propriétaire, et un âne la mangeoire. Chez son maître. Un bœuf connaît son propriétaire, et un âne la mangeoire chez son maître. Israël ne connaît pas, mon peuple ne comprend pas.
Food desert. In his 2019 Netflix series Trigger Warning, Killer Mike set out to sustain himself for 3 days solely on black-owned businesses.
So these fruits and vegetables are fresh, and they're from Black Farm.
From Black Farm. There were moments of promise.
Yeah, please, man, I want everything. I think you ought to go with that sample platter right there.
But the social experiment was mostly a bust.
Please tell me like this came from the West Georgia, like Black Farmers Collaborative, or no, it didn't. May I get a to-go box, please?
That disappointment may have helped motivate Mike for his next act, co-founding the digital bank Greenwood with former Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young and Atlanta-based entrepreneur Ryan Glover, who serves as the bank's chairman. Glover says the mission is to create more Black and Latinx wealth. According to the Federal Reserve, the median wealth of a white family in 2019 was more than $188,000, compared to $36,000 for Hispanic families and just $24,000 for Black families. One solution to close that equity gap, Glover suggests, is more investment in Black communities.
Marching, protesting is fine. But the only way that we can move our culture forward, in my personal opinion, is through bank capital.
Greenwood.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, and verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, Egypt being America, spiritually, Babylon, spiritually, Sodom and Gomorrah. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, pertaining to the book of Revelation, chapter 11, and verse 8. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Yasha Allah, Yahweh Bahashem Yahusha, neither seek ye the Lord, Yahweh. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh Ba'ashmi shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. Le livre d'Isaiah, chapitre 31, verset 1. Qu'est-ce que l'Égypte? Malheur, ils descendent en Égypte pour y chercher du secours. Égypte étant l'Amérique, spirituellement Sodome et Gomorrhe, spirituellement Babylone. Comme dans le livre d'Apocalypse, chapitre 11, verset 8. Ils descendent en Égypte pour y chercher du secours. Ils s'en remettent à des chevaux. Ils font confiance aux chars parce qu'ils sont nombreux, aux cavaliers parce qu'ils sont en force. Mais ils n'ont pas un regard pour le Saint d'Israël, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Ils ne cherchent pas Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, le Seigneur. Lui aussi, pourtant, il est habile. Il peut faire venir le malheur. Il ne retire pas ce qu'il a dit. Il se dresse contre le parti des méchants et contre les malfaisants qu'on appelle au secours. L'Égyptien est un homme et non un Dieu. Ses chevaux sont chair et non esprit. Quand le Seigneur Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua étendra la main Le protecteur trébuchera et le protégé tombera. Tous ensemble, ils seront anéantis.
It is named for the Tulsa, Oklahoma neighborhood that was destroyed 99 years ago by a mob of white residents. Before then, it was known as Black Wall Street, a community full of thriving businesses.
We've got to get back to that point in history, that point of Black excellence, that point of Black ideation. That's the way we will grow our community.
Woe to this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, says Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Verse 3. Therefore shall Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Verse 7. For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still. Le livre d'Isaiah, Esaïe, chapitre 30, verset 1. Malheur, ce sont des fils rebelles, oracle du Seigneur Yahweh Bahashem Yahusha. Ils réalisent des plans qui ne sont pas les miens. Ils concluent des traités contraires à mon esprit, accumulant ainsi péché sur péché. Ils descendent en Égypte sans me consulter. Ils vont se mettre en sûreté dans la forteresse du Pharaon, se réfugier à l'ombre de l'Égypte. La forteresse du Pharaon tournera à votre honte, et le refuge à l'ombre de l'Égypte à votre confusion. Verset 7. Les secours de l'Égypte, ce sera du vent et du vide. C'est pourquoi je l'appelle Rahav, l'immobile.
Greenwood plans to start taking deposits later this year. It won't be a brick and mortar bank. Its services, like checkings and savings accounts, will all happen online. But like other banks, its deposits will be FDIC insured.
My grandparents, one of the first things they did besides buy me Delta and Coca-Cola stock, because we were right here in Atlanta, was take me to a black bank, get me my first savings account, later checking account. And I think that we should be doing that in the digital age. We have the ability to put a bank in our hand. And with Greenwood, your bank is there, and you don't have to wait for your account, later checking account. And I think that we should be doing that in the digital age. We have the ability to put a bank in our hand. And with Greenwood, your bank is there, and you don't have to wait for your 8-year-old checking account. And I think that we should be doing that in the digital age. We have the ability to put a bank in our hand. And with Greenwood, your bank is there, and you don't have to wait for your 8-year-old to turn 12 and take.
All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 36 and verse 6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed. Thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. Le livre d'Isaiah, chapitre 36, verset 6. Voici que tu as mis ta confiance sur l'appui de ce roseau brisé sur l'Égypte. L'Amérique est brisée, l'Amérique est divisée. Qui pénètre et transperce la main de quiconque s'appuie sur lui. Et qu'est-ce que l'Amérique propose? Un vaccin. Un RFID chip. La marque de la bête est la seule proposition de l'Amérique. Le livre d'Isaiah chapitre 36 verset 6. Voici que tu as mis ta confiance sur l'appui de ce roseau brisé sur l'Égypte, qui pénètre et transperce la main de quiconque s'appuie sur lui. Tel est le Pharaon, roi d'Égypte, pour tous ceux qui mettent leur confiance en lui.
can be doing that as early as 7, 8 years old.
And Greenwood isn't only banking on Black and Latinx customers.
Here, and you don't have to wait for your 8-year-old to turn 12 and take home. That we should be doing that in the digital age. We have the ability to put a bank in our hand. And with Greenwood, your bank is there, and you don't have to wait for your 8-year-old to turn 12 and take home economics. You can be doing that as early as 7, 8 years old.
And Greenwood isn't only banking on Black and Latinx customers.
If we have a strong economy in the Black community, the greater community becomes stronger. So I'm telling people on the other side of the camera, don't just hear bank Black. What you're hearing is bank local, bank regional, bank with people who care about you, bank with people who are going to put money into small and medium-sized businesses, because in capitalism, more competition creates a greater outcome for the customer. In my heart of hearts, I truly...
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 14. Salakia. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2. And verse 11. Has the nation changed their gods, which are yet not gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit. Verse 13. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Verse 19. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee. Salakia. Verse 18. And now what hast thou to do in the way of Egypt, to drink the waters of Sihor? And what hast thou to do in the way of Assyria, to drink the waters of the river? Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Le livre de Jérémie, chapitre 2. Verset 11. Regardez si pareille chose est arrivée. Une nation change-t-elle de Dieu? Et pourtant ce ne sont pas des dieux. Mon peuple, lui, échange sa gloire contre ce qui ne sert à rien. De cela, soyez stupéfaits, vous les cieux. Soyez-en horrifiés, profondément navrés. Oracle du Seigneur. Oui, il est double le méfait commis par mon peuple, Israël. Il m'abandonne, moi, la source d'eau vive, pour se creuser des citernes fissurées qui ne retiennent pas d'eau. Israël est-il un esclave? Est-il né dans la servitude? Pourquoi devient-il une proie? Contre lui rugissent les jeunes lions. Il donne de la voix. On transforme son pays en désolation. Ses villes sont incendiées, vidées de leurs habitants. Même les gens de Memphis et de Daphné te défoncent le crâne. Qu'est-ce qui te vaut cela, sinon d'avoir abandonné Yahweh Bashmiaosha, ton Dieu, au temps où il était ton guide sur la route? Et maintenant, qu'est-ce qui t'attire sur la route de l'Égypte pour aller t'abreuver à l'étang d'Orus? Et qu'est-ce qui t'attire sur la route de la Syrie pour aller t'abreuver au fleuve? Que ton mal te châtie, que ton apostasie te corrige. Éprouve jusqu'au bout la douleur et l'amertume d'avoir abandonné le Tout-Puissant Yahweh Bashmiaosha, ton pouvoir. Oui, tu ne trembles même plus devant moi, oracle du Seigneur, Dieu de l'univers.
So I'm telling people on the other side of the camera, don't just hear bank black. What you're hearing is bank local, bank regional, bank with people who care about you, bank with people who are going to put money into small and medium-sized businesses, because in capitalism, more competition creates a greater outcome for the customer. In my heart of hearts, I truly believe that Senator Bernie Sanders is the right man to lead this country.
A vocal supporter of progressive politics, Killer Mike twice
So, okay.
endorsed Bernie Sanders for president and served. And Greenwood isn't only banking on Black and Latinx customers.
If we have a strong economy in the black community, the greater community becomes stronger. So I'm telling people on the other side of the camera, don't just hear bank black. What you're hearing is bank local, bank regional, bank with people who care about you, bank with people who are going to put money into small and medium-sized businesses, because in capitalism, more competition creates a greater outcome for the customer. In my heart of hearts, I truly believe that Senator Bernie Sanders is the right man to lead this country.
A vocal supporter of
Yeah. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, and verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy living power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Le livre de Deutéronome, chapitre 17. Verset 15. Tu établiras au-dessus de toi un roi choisi par le Seigneur, ton Dieu, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahusha. C'est du milieu de tes frères que tu prendras un roi pour l'établir au-dessus de toi. Tu ne pourras pas établir au-dessus de toi un étranger qui ne serait pas ton frère. Tu ne pourras pas établir au-dessus de toi un étranger qui ne serait pas ton frère. Tu ne pourras pas établir au-dessus de toi un étranger qui ne serait pas ton frère.
progressive politics.
In my heart of hearts, I truly believe that Senator Bernie Sanders is the right man to lead this country.
A vocal supporter of
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer? Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Le livre de Siracide, chapitre 12, verset 10. Ne te fie jamais à ton ennemi, car sa méchanceté est pareille au bronze qui s'altère. Même s'il fait l'humble et chemine courbé, fais attention et prends garde à lui. Sois pour lui comme un polisseur de miroir. Sache qu'il ne restera pas toujours taché de rouille. Ne l'installe pas auprès de toi, de peur qu'il ne te renverse pour prendre ta place. Ne l'assieds pas à ta droite, de peur qu'il ne convoite ton propre siège. Tu comprendrais à la fin la justesse de mes discours, et tu te souviendras avec regret de mes paroles. Qui aura pitié du charmeur mordu par un serpent, et de ceux qui s'approchent des bêtes fauves? Tel est celui qui fréquente le pécheur. Qui aura pitié du charmeur mordu par un serpent, et de ceux qui s'approchent des bêtes fauves?
Progressive politics. Killer Mike twice endorsed Bernie Sanders.
I truly believe that Senator Bernie Sanders is the right man to lead this country.
A vocal supporter of progressive politics, Killer Mike twice endorsed Bernie Sanders for president and served as a campaign surrogate. Obviously, Bernie's not in it at this point. You got Biden and Harris versus Trump and Pence.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are for the black community in particular. There's never been a better time for you to flip certain states, like Georgia could be flipped now. There are other states that can be, but I think that we need to take our agenda seriously, and we shouldn't wait on a candidate to give us their version of our agenda. I think that if the African American community is not strong, the wider community is not strong. And I didn't say white, I said wider.
Hills part toujours de la biologie de l'animal pour prévoir ses besoins nutritionnels en constante évolution. Pour une différence visible, tangible et digne de confiance. Afin que vous ayez toujours une longueur d'avance.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 12. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Verse 14. Verse 13. Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. The great day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wastedness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Le livre de Sophonie, chapitre 1, verset 12. Eh bien, en ce temps-là, je fouillerai Jérusalem avec des torches. Et j'interviendrai contre les hommes figés dans leur inertie et qui pensent, le Seigneur ne peut faire ni bien ni mal. Eh bien, leurs richesses seront livrées au pillage et leurs maisons à la dévastation. Ils bâtiront des maisons, mais ne les habiteront pas. Ils planteront des vignes, mais n'en boiront pas le vin. Il est proche le grand jour du Seigneur Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahusha. Il est proche. Il vient en grande hâte. On criera amèrement au jour du Seigneur Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahusha. Le brave lui-même appellera au secours. Jour de fureur que ce jour. Jour de détresse et d'angoisse. Jour de désastre et de désolation. Jour de ténèbres et d'obscurité. Jour de nuées et de sombres nuages. Jour de sonneries, de corps et de cris de guerre. Contre les villes fortes et contre les hautes tours d'angle. Je jetterai les hommes dans la détresse. Ils marcheront comme des aveugles, car ils ont péché contre le Seigneur Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Leur sang sera répandu comme de la poussière, et leurs tripes comme des ordures. Ni leur argent, ni leur or ne pourra les délivrer. Au jour de la fureur du Seigneur Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, au feu de mon ardeur, toute la terre sera dévorée, car il va faire l'extermination, et ce sera terrible de tous les habitants de la terre. The livre the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Le livre de Daniel, chapitre 12, verset 10. Une multitude sera purifiée, blanchie et affinée. Les impies agiront avec impiété. Aucun impie ne comprendra, mais les gens réfléchis comprendront. The book of John, chapter 10 and verse 7. Then said Yahushua unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. Verse 9. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. Verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. Verse 12. But he that is an hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scatters the sheep. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling, and careth not for the sheep. Verse 14. I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and lay down my life for the sheep. Le livre de Jean, chapitre 10, verset 7. Yahushua reprit, en vérité, je vous le dis, je suis la porte des brebis. Tous ceux qui sont venus avant moi sont des voleurs et des brigands, mais les brebis ne les ont pas écoutés. Je suis la porte. Si quelqu'un entre par moi, il sera sauvé. Il ira et viendra et trouvera de quoi se nourrir. Le voleur ne se présente que pour voler, pour tuer et pour perdre. Moi, je suis venu pour que les hommes aient la vie et qu'il l'ait en abondance. Verset 11. Je suis le bon berger. Le bon berger se dessaisit de sa vie pour ses brebis. Le mercenaire qui n'est pas vraiment un berger et à qui les brebis n'appartiennent pas, voit-il venir le loup. Il abandonne les brebis et prend la fuite, et le loup s'en empare et les disperse. C'est qu'il est mercenaire et que peu lui importe les brebis. C'est qu'il est mercenaire et que peu lui importe les brebis. Verset 14. Je suis le bon berger. Je connais mes brebis et mes brebis me connaissent. Comme mon Père me connaît et que je connais mon Père, et je me dessaisis de ma vie pour les brebis. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchakudash. Karhalayim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchakudash. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchakudash. Tawada Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchakudash. The belongers to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutation and like-minded men. Salutations to the hopefully elect scattered abroad that believe in this truth and go out and labor. Double honneur aux apôtres, aux disciples, aux prophètes de la maison de David qui édifient les brebis jour et nuit. Salutations à mes frères et sœurs qui endurent dans la foi et qui continuent de bâtir leur foi en attendant patiemment la venue de notre Messie Yahushua. Shalom.